What it do, what it do, what it do, who? It is I, Eden the Hero. This is Humble Good Times. Welcome. This is episode 51. We are 1 week away from the 52nd episode, which makes it a full year. I think we passed the year when I actually officially started, but because I missed like 2 to 3 weeks in between while my year, because I needed breaks. I got sick or I was dealing with some shit. So here we are. Next week, like I said, I'm gonna do something special for the 52nd episode. So y'all stay tuned for that one. That's probably gonna be a longer one. This one's probably gonna be one of my shortest ones because I really don't have too much to say other than my weekly recap. All week, I would say it was pretty smooth. I didn't do a crazy amount of hours. Only did like 46 hours last week, and had off Saturday. So that was my highlight of my week. I had off Saturday. I did not have to go into work on Saturday, and that was a blessing. I was up early because my alarm still was waking me up, but I went back to sleep for like an hour or two. And it felt good just laying in bed, not having to be nowhere, not rushing nowhere. Me and my friend planned to like link up, and if he canceled, I told him all the time, I'm like, if you ever want to cancel, don't feel bad about it, because I'm pretty much always going to be okay with that. Anytime we cancel plans, that means I'm saving money, so it's all good. But yeah, I was able to cook my breakfast, have my coffee, have my muffin, watch some shit on YouTube, and I've been binging on Married at First Sight. That's pretty much my Saturday. I linked up with my friend. We went to this one spot that I wanted to check out, but I wanted to check it out when they have their outdoor rooftop open, because that's the highlight of that place. And anywhere else is just a regular restaurant. Rooftops are the best. I love me a good rooftop restaurant. But yeah, we just kicked it, caught up, having some dialogue of relationship shit. And then Sunday I just went to church. Had to serve this time, and went to the small group that we have until mid-August. And yeah, it was a good day, a good weekend overall. Like, the rest I really needed more than anything, because my hands have been like on some bullshit. Like, I don't know if this hand is swollen or not, but yeah, it was giving me some issues where it was starting to numb up when I would be holding my phone for too long or something. And then this hand sometimes would be like numbing up as well. So I was like, oh hell, I don't want no more ailments. I don't want no more problems. I need insurance. And good news, I got an email Saturday that I will be eligible for benefits with the staffing agency August 1st. So I already submitted what I want for my health, my vision, and my dental. We good. We gonna have health insurance come August 1st. Now, it's not gonna be the greatest health insurance, but it's something in case of any emergency. So I'm happy about that. I felt myself almost like feeling guilt about these past like 3 weeks of spending money. But I don't even feel bad about it, only because I've been spending time with my friends. I haven't been able to really do anything in over a year. So I was like, let me get back in community with my homies and, put that time in. So I'm like, that money will be made back up. And the good thing is, I've been putting money aside every check without me having to even do it. So I'm just thankful that, I have a better way of handling my finances now, and there are savings, not a lot, but there are savings, and they're happening every week, so we good over here. Something that's been coming up for me last week that I've talked about, I think, a few times already on my vlog. I've just been having like a lot of thought about my past. I don't know if it's because like I'm reaching for some type of inspiration or something, or I'm just genuinely interested in just like figuring out what it is that I exactly want and I would be looking for. I'm not really looking like at all. I'm just kind of like, I want to be aware when I spot something and I'm surrounded by someone, that I'm able to identify this is what I'm looking for or what I want. And a lot last week when I was at work, because it was just not very busy, I was just making these lists in my head of like all my exes or where they fell out on certain lists that I'm creating in my own mind. It was kind of fun though, just thinking about it. And like, there was certain, like, first of all, I had to think about everybody that I've ever either dated, slept with, kissed, or was in a long-term relationship. And I haven't been in very many long terms. It was like maybe 3, we'll say. But everyone that I've dated, slept with, kissed, and been in long-term relationships, I had to think about that whole history. And it was so funny because I'm like, as I'm thinking about things and the list that I'm creating, like one was like best dressed, or of course best sex, worst sex, most significant, I guess. Which, but even though the long-term ones were long-term, the significance in them wasn't as much. I could find like things that stood out about them that weren't awful, but I feel like significance really makes a difference. And there was maybe, I would say, one person in my past that I've actually been with in a relationship, we'll say, that was significant. My most significant was with someone I was not in a relationship with, and I talked about that in the past. But that one keeps coming back to the surface for some reason. I'm just like, damn, like, I'm not mad at it because I don't resent that person. I think I can see it from different angles where I can say it was everything that I could want in a connection. Like, if there was more time, it probably would have ruined the whole thing. And even looking back, like, the way things ended, it was so abruptly that reacting to it, it was like, it took me a while to really understand. And I still don't probably fully understand. I understand why we couldn't be together. Like, that was never misunderstood. It was common sense. She was graduating, leaving the state. Understood. Can't be together. You go and live your life. I bid you adieu. But the ending of it, I just wish it had a more mutual cleaned up end, where there was more respect, I would say, for me on her part, because everything. Like I look back on that time, the time of my life where that specific moment of time in my life was a moment where shit could have ended and I would have been good with where my life ended. I would have been ecstatic. If that was where my life ended, cool. But now, 20 years later, 20 years later, I'm just honestly, they inspired a story that I wrote about. It's a script. The script is called. I ain't gonna tell y'all the title yet. Not yet, but the story, our history, our brief history, is where I reimagined it for this other story. So I took the gist of our time together and just added stuff that wasn't necessarily true. But the essence of our history is in that story where I try to add more emotion on her part, on the character she would be, and on my character, there was some it was more so put on my character in the story versus her character, where things ended, which kind of gives me my own closure of like bringing some resolve to whatever we went through. And listen, as a creative, I'm usually inspired by whoever I'm dating. I've always had a muse in the past. And now, without this muse in my life and having to find inspiration somewhere, that's been my most recent inspiration. Well, I lie. That was end of last year. Because of this writing. Well, no. I was starting to write just a story. I was going to write a book about it. But then I got into this writing group, as y'all, if you've been watching, you know that I've been a part of this writing group in the past. And it was screenplay writing. And I used the story and I turned it into a script, a pilot, TV pilot. And the fact that at that time is where I really was having those thoughts and those feelings and needing to do something with them. Now I feel like they've only started resurfacing because I'm more interested in trying to figure shit out for myself about what it is that I'm looking for, what would I want if it approached me today. What is it that I would want? And then not only that is more so, it's just such a significant time in my life that it could never be replicated, never duplicated. The feeling and that's another thing. The feeling that I felt at that moment of my life, I've never felt it ever again in any of the relationships that I've been in or the connections that I made after. Nobody ever touched that time of my life where I felt that way. They never made me feel that way. Or they never brought that out of me, is what I should say. And I feel like that needs to be studied and broken down. And I really want to go to therapy for me to understand how do I move forward in any next situation that I end up in. Because it's really hard for me to be impressed. I'm not easily impressed. And I I genuinely don't necessarily want to like touch that time in the sense of I don't want to relive it. I do want I just want to be able to understand why is it that every person after that, it just feels like it was flat. My relationship of 5 years should have ended in the first year. The insignificance left after the first year, or the significance, I should say. And it was someone I was dating from my own city, which, if y'all know where I live, you would understand. But I'm in search of understanding, and I want to broaden my I don't even know how to say that, but I just know that I'm just in search of, period, ... I'm in search of, and I'm trying to, I guess, move forward, because it's almost as if that time, the more I replay it in my head, the more I relive it, the more I'm so content with it, and anything else is like, it doesn't hold a weight to it. There's no comparison in that time with that person and all the connections I had after that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had fun with some of the other ones, but it was nothing like that. And there's just so much about that time that I literally just I'll think about a certain thing that she might have said to me, or something that we did, and I just pull it out. It is almost like I'm really just trying to fine tune it, combing through the moments, and just reaching for something that may not be there. I mean, that's kind of sad, but at the same time, I'm not mad. Like, I'm not embarrassed, or I'm not sad, but that's why I want to talk to a therapist, because I just want to be able to, like, I want to be able to connect with someone in the future where it's not so much compared to that, or I'm not so much holding on to that past thing and just not feeling the fulfillment in the connection in front of me. So yeah, this is gonna be something that I'm looking forward to, like, wanting to explore, and there's other parts of me that I am exploring outside of, faith and everything, that I'm thoroughly thankful for and enjoying connecting with my church family and having that support. But yeah, I think because I'm getting older, maybe, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really don't care about. So yeah, it's not about, I don't feel like it may not be so much about settling down right now, because I'm not in a rush. I'm really not. But I just kind of want to have fun with exploring more of my different sides of myself, and I want to evolve. I want to grow. I want to get better. I want to build more confidence in the dating world as a trans man, because I haven't had much experience since 2022. But it's just a matter of me wanting to really find more to be, and the things that are inside me that I'm not gonna shy away from. I want to kind of like just lean into those sides of me and just explore them, and really allow them to live and be, instead of just, I've never been someone that's content with being one way and having, I'm not a one trick pony, that's what I'm saying. I am always in search of being better and doing better for myself. So that is, I guess, 2025. That's going to be a goal of mine that I'm going to move forward to, because I'm about to get my insurance and everything. So I'm going to get back into therapy at least once a month, talk to someone, and just see what I can do with myself. So this has been a humble good time. I am Eden the Hero. Peace.